So welcome everybody to round one of Tier 2 Ville at Austria, or Styria, whichever you want to call it. I'm here with Infamous Pillars, who is going to go through the drivers list. Welcome, Infamous.
Thank you. So, in the Mercedes tonight we have Sammy and Nuff. And then in the Red Bull, I'll come back to Ferrari after, but in the Red Bull we have Kurt Boy and Ashwin. In the McLaren we have Sipos and Aria. In the Renault we have Marzataki and Roman. In the Haas we have Furface. Racing Point we've got Gods and Vil Maz. In the Alfa Romeo we have Big Beefy. In the Alpha Tower we have Rempo and Madden. And in the Williams we have Kings at the moment. Hopefully a few more join and we can get this grid full.
Hopefully, mate. Well, it looks like we've got a wet qualifying, which will mix things up a little bit. Not sure on most of these guys who's the favourite or who's not. Obviously, it's race one. We will see. Just wait for somebody to come out on track.
If you were racing, it would definitely be you the favourite after Thursday night's events.
Oh. And EFF Seppos is going to be first out on track. Let me just get this stream up so I can read the comments. Bear with me. Who's your money on?
I think after seeing him run, I think it would be FIFA Beefy.
FIFA Beefy is pretty quick here. Depends what he's like in the rain, though, doesn't it? You know, anything can happen in a wet qualifying session. If anyone can let us know if it's going to be staying wet, that would be helpful. In the chat.
Track's slowly starting to get a little bit busier now as well, with 5 people out and out laps at the moment. Rentbo, she's just heading out the pits now.
Going to ride on board with Seppos as he's the first out on track. We'll see how he gets on. Coming up to the Kimi Räikkönen corner where that wheel famously flew off. Quite neat and tidy for the fill, losing a bit of traction out of turn 1. Turn 2 is not really a turn here, but this actual kink is classed as a turn. Coming up to Remus though, which is turn 3. Very tough on the traction to get that right through turn 3. Or the third DRS zone, we came to the home straight. And then Schlossgård, love this corner. Probably love it more than Alex Albon at the moment, to be honest.
Dropping a sore loser comment there.
Obviously he's gone purple so far, nice and valid. Always tough being first on track in the wet.
Yeah, sure.
Finding your lines, finding where you've got traction, where you don't have traction. Comes across with a 113 dead. It's not a bad lap to start things off.
It's a good banker. Hopefully a bit of acclimatisation to come. Furface 7 tenths off Seppos with a 13.7.
Sammy coming through to finish. Is this finished? Start his lap. Got full ERS. Go on board with Sammy.
Meanwhile, times are coming in now. Maz goes to P2 with a 13.5. And the Red Bull of Ashwin with a 13.8.
He's unfortunately invalidated here. Who else have we got? We got Mars attacking is still in the pits. We've got Madan 29 still in the pits and Kurt Boy still in the pits. We've got a yellow flag in sector 2. Face, I think he's just letting somebody go by. He is.
Currently riding on board with FIFA Beefy.
FIFA Beefy, your favourite for tonight.
My favourite. Let's see if he doesn't get a commentator's curse with me. Coming round through Slosh Gold. We'll have a little look to the left now, and you'll find Valtteri Bottas' new lawn mowing company starting to take shape there.
Oh, he's been held right up there.
He's getting held up here.
Yeah, he's been held up. That's unfortunate. I'm sure he'll go again. Plenty of time left.
Oh, sure.
Madden's still in the pits. Who else have we got? Maz has unfortunately left us. Renbo's done a 13.2. That's a good lap from her. Nice and smooth.
Even though you got held off 14.0, not too bad from Beefy.
We got anybody else out on a fast lap?
Contact from Sammy hitting the back of the McLaren of Arabic. I'm sure I'll have something to say about that one.
Yeah, Sammy, of course, invalidated his first lap. Looks like he's turned everything off for maybe another run at things. Not set a valid lap yet.
I'm gonna say, I think he has damage. I think with that little bit of contact, he might have some damage. Get a good view here. Yeah, there's an end plate off there.
End plate missing off Sammy's car, so I expect him to box. We got Kurt and Mars out on out laps, and Gods out on out lap. Gods is in sector 2.
Nuff has lost it at the end of sector 2 and has retired.
Well, that's a shock, because I would have had him up there as top 5, maybe the podium tonight myself. So he's going to have to do a lot of work coming from near the back of the grid. Obviously, we've only got 17 runners tonight, and Gods has just lost it coming into the pits. Luckily no damage, but he boxed now.
And
very slippery out there.
Mars lost it exactly the same place as Brandon as well. So is the track getting drier, or is it getting a little bit wetter out there?
We got Mars attacking, gearing up for a fast lap. We'll find out. Nice and smooth through turn 1. This turn 3 is very tricky. Very tricky. Bit of a lock up there, but nice and neat. Telemetry saying he's got a purple sector 1. We've got some guys in the pits, but they're looking at the soft tyres on my telemetry. Whether or not that's a bug, I don't know. But the track does look like it's drying.
We've got that as well, but it still looks like a few spots of rain coming down. Maybe they think they're safe for Q2. And just getting ready, might, if it's a little bit dry towards the back end, might go out just for a feeler lap.
Yeah, it's not a bad shape. Nope, DRS enabled. DRS enabled, so the track is drying. I expect to see most people out on a dry tyre before this is over.
With a 12.8 coming in. That is why he's probably one of my favourites tonight. Might be a little bit more time in there if he wants another run, but I think he's safe for now.
Mars coming in into the top 10, 15.5. Nice lap considering the track's drying. Still got quite a lot of guys to set a time. Obviously, we've lost Brandon.
We've lost, and Kurt Boy now as well at the back end. Looks like the last corner, the King of Rifleman corner.
If that's the case and we've got 2 guys out, all these need to do is set the lap time.
Yeah,
I believe that's 15 guys and a girl, obviously, not forgetting Renbo getting through to Q2. See if they can do it, because this track is going to be very greasy.
It's stopped raining now, so it does look like it's dried out, but if for some people, is it just worth the risk, or do you just go out there and just have a little feeling up and don't need to put too much pressure on yourself to... You don't want that spinning out.
Fairface has come into the pits, and looks like Madan's not on a fast lap, as he's slowing down on the straight. Just wait and see if anybody goes out onto the soft tyres. For some reason my comments aren't loading, so I have no idea. It's saying I'm getting comments, but I don't know what they are, unfortunately.
I'll check now.
It's George. Brandon says, "Hey up lads, hello mate, unfortunate about your spin." And CRG Geo giving us a little view. Renowned commentator himself. Bit of a lull in this session right now. Right, there we go. We've got Seppo's out on the softs on an outlap. So we'll see how much faster, if at all, this track is. It looks like it's almost dry, to be honest.
Yeah. And Maz and King's all out as well on the softs.
God's also on an outlap. Oh, it's an invalid from Seppo's. Unfortunate. Just caught the right tyre. Very tough to get this track without any penalties, without any warnings.
100%.
Really, really difficult one to hook up. So who else have we got on an outlap? Furface is on an outlap, judging by that ERS. Oh, it is going down. King Wafik is on an outlap. Who's just come over the line there then? Pillars, who have we got?
So you've got Vil Maz is just about to start one. You've got Gods on a lap as well. So if Maz has timed this right, he will get a toe going up to turn 3, but I think it's still a little bit too far away. We'll follow Gods as he is setting a purple sector 1, obviously on first guy through on the softs.
Racing Point, obviously this week getting a couple of points deductions. Luckily all these cars are set to equal, so they are allowed to copy everybody else in the game. Seppo's goes fastest with a 105.2. I expect to see that time tumbling down and down now for the next 5 minutes though, with the track is dried out.
Yeah, I think there's going to be carnage on the left hand side of my screen with the times changing.
Yeah, Gods comes over for a 105.4, so it's looking quite tight at the top so far.
Maz did invalid that lap, so I think he's going again right now.
We've got Rentbo on a lap at the moment. We'll go on board. Still valid, very neat. Coming up the Schloss Gold. Yeah, it's a mouthful itself, that word. I do like the look of this AlphaTauri. Very nice looking car this year.
The livery, it just matches very nicely throughout. It flows through the whole car. For me, I do agree with that one. Very, very nice looking car this year.
While we've been on board with Rentbo, Sammy's done a 105.7, so looking very neat and tidy at the top now. Looks like we're going to have a good battle. Rentbo goes fastest with a 4.5. Very good lap there.
It's a cracking lap.
God's also with a 104.5. There is nothing between those two now. Maz also with a 104.8. That track is definitely drying. Expecting Beefy to be out there soon if he's not already. He is.
He is.
He's
just
on a
going
lap.
into sector 3 now.
Yes, George, Slosh Gold is also my favourite corner to drive. Nice downhill braking. Beefy very quick over that final corner. And up to the top with the 104 deads. No commentators cursing Q1 anyway. That should see him safely through, to be honest, with 3 minutes left.
Oh, definitely.
Well, they will see him safely through because obviously we've got two guys out.
Yeah. The only guy on a set of time is Ishinology right now, but we're on the board and coming up to turn 3. See if I can get the traction down nicely here.
Mars attacking, getting a 105.5, coming in P7.
Very smooth formation going through turn 3 down to your favourite corner, Stocks Gold. Runs deep, Maz gets out of the way nicely.
Touch of the grass for Varren there. Shouldn't slow him down too much. His teammate Fairface has invalidated. It's enough anyway. These guys are probably just getting like a feel for the track at this point. It's only Ishinology that I believe needs to set a lap time
He
to get themselves into Q2.
Now.
Let's go on, boy. There we go. Into 7th place.
P7.
Beefy thinks he's done enough. I think I agree with him there, to be honest.
It is nice when you get that feeling that you know you're safe. And you can just relax for 3 minutes and then you're back on it again.
Sammy and Ishinology with a little bit of a nudge and a 5-place grid penalty for the contact for Ishinology. Not sure what went on there between those two. It was a bit... Well, it's a Ferrari and a Mercedes, so a bit of Vettel-Hamilton there. Baku.
The infamous moment.
Yeah.
And that... No damage on either car, but... A strange one.
Yeah, I caught the back end. I caught the... Oh, and actually, good catch there. That, like I said, that turn 3 traction's very, very difficult.
Yep. Rainbow just retiring from the session now.
Yeah, she's done a very good lap as well. Nice and safe. Expect Gods to do the same, and Sammy. I think anyone left on track is just getting a feel for it at this point.
Yep, definitely.
The only person it doesn't look like set a time on the softs or set a valid one is just coming around the final corner now. It's Roman Drito. It's valid so far, and it is a 109.1.
I'm sure there's more time there for him to be found.
Yeah, no, there's no need to push. You had to beat the 127 to get in, so... Couple of cool down laps for people now before we get into the meaty part. Q2.
See if there's a few strategy changes going on there. A couple of medium starters maybe.
Yeah, well, unfortunately the game doesn't let you go hards for qualifying at the moment, and I'm not sure whether that will change. But right now it's only soft or mediums in qualifying. So these guys, you can do a soft medium here. I think Total P's did a soft hard on Tier 1 in the week, and it was very effective. I'm pretty sure he finished first out on track.
Yeah.
But was T2 on penalties in the end, but that strategy did seem to come into play a bit more than the soft medium did with no safety car towards the end. No, P's is very quick anyway, so...
But then it goes back to your point again about penalties and racking them up around this track and just keeping yourself safe.
Well, Axwin goes fastest with a 3.9, sneaking it off FIFA Beefy at the last second in Q1. See his name up in lights.
You can see the sun just trying to glance through those clouds now as well, so acclimatization should be getting better and better now.
Sammy's still out on track. We've only got 3 drivers, I believe. There's 5 on the track map, but that time had finished. Not sure if that glitch is still in play, where you can go out. Oh. Varren is in the pits. Romain Drito has invalidated. Axwin's finished, so all that's left out there is just Sammy, who's giving us a nice, relaxing Sunday afternoon drive on a Saturday night. Yeah, 103.9 is a good lap. I think anyone in the 103s in Q2, if it stays dry, if they're on the softs, is probably going to be safe.
Yep.
AI cars hitting each other as normal. Just going to double check to see if Sammy got that penalty. If he got a nudge, no, he didn't get a penalty for it. So as Ishinology got a grid penalty for the collision with Sammy, but Sammy didn't get anything there. So I'm not sure what happened between those two. I'm sure that'll be reported or
spoken about in the chat later.
Yeah. I still can't get used to a black Mercedes. It still doesn't feel right to me. I know I'm of a minority. A lot of people like it.
I like it. I'm on the fence. Obviously, I know why they've done it, but I don't think you can beat the classic silver look. I think the grid's missing it this year, personally, for me. It's missing the silver arrows, you know, for me, but everybody's different.
We got Brady Salted saying can't hear commentary, but George saying he can hear fine, so I assume, Brady Salted, you need to turn your volume up. But I will double check if anyone else can't hear me. But nice to have you on board anyway. There's wings flying everywhere with these AI cars at the moment. They're just...
that for me does need to be sorted as well.
Yeah, well, the checkered flag comes down and we get 2 minutes of watching AI cars hit each other, which isn't the best thing to watch.
In Sebastian Vettel's words, are we racing or are we playing ping pong?
We've lost in Q1 then. Just Brandon and Kurt Boy, both of them losing the car. Other thing to note is that Ishinology has a 5-place grid penalty, and the top 3 right now are Axwin with a 103.9, FIFA Beefy with a 104 dead, and Rentbo with a 104.5. But it's close. It's looking close between 3 and 7, 8, 3 and 8. Yep. Looking very close at the moment. But obviously the track did dry out towards the end, so I imagine they will go faster again.
I think big session for Ishinology here.
Rentbo, of course, sporting that beautiful Welsh flag.
Wouldn't call it beautiful, mate, but
it's a dragon. You can't beat dragons. Well, it looks dry for Q2, and we've got some shadow, so the sun is out. I'm expecting a mix of strategies here. We'll get the telemetry back on, get the lap data back on, and we will hide that for now. And we'll just wait to see who blinks first. Looks like a Renault. It is Roman Drito first out again. Got an Alpha coming out as well. Alfa Romeo, which that's going to be FIFA Beefy. Your favourite, of course.
Hopefully he can do the business now.
He is very quick round here. Did have a race against him last night and he was very close. Safety car change strategies and things, but before that we were enjoying a good battle. Nice, clean, fair racing.
3 of us had a little pull away, and then obviously you being the lead Renault cost me a little bit, mate, but we won't get into that too much.
We won't talk about that, no. We've got stuff to commentate on first. So, I'm going to go on board with Roman Drito again. I will go... Same view as him. Well, maybe he could be using cockpit cam, we never know. So I'll go on board as he's the first car out. Plenty of cars on track early on. We want to get that tyre fitted, so he's on the softs. We've got 4 or 5 looking at the mediums early on, which
you see, for me being out this early on the mediums, it looks like a banker for me.
Yellow flag for the Mercedes and the Haas in 2 going into sector 3, but I think that's probably traffic management.
Yep.
Roman Drito, of course, going purple coming up to turn 3. Hits that DRS. coming down into Schlossgold. And this next sector is very tricky. I don't know about you, but I think I can drive this track for 50, 60 laps and never get the same line through here.
For me, it feels like it wants to throw you out, but you want to hug it as tight as you can to the inside. Again, the same for this one. It wants to throw you to the outside curb.
Yeah, very easy to invalidate with the right-hand tyres on that outside curb as well.
Definitely. No room for error there. And again, the same here. It's got that feeling that it just wants to throw you wide all the time.
Yeah, of course, the game doesn't let us get away with quite as much as they do in real life. That's a 106.2 though for Roman Drito. I'm sure he will go faster than that. Nice early banker lap.
Going to ride on board with Beefy. I think he invalidated that first lap, so we'll see if he's going to go for 2 laps on these.
Well, I'm going to try and work out what's going on in Sector 2. We've got a Haas off somewhere. It's Varun. He's actually retired from the session. Sammy goes fastest on the medium. 105 dead. That's a very good lap on the medium tyre this early on from Sammy. There's a lot of yellow flags in the middle. We've lost Varun. I'm not sure what happened. I missed it while we were on board. But Axwin, who was our fastest in Q1, is coming around the final corner now to start his flying lap on the softs. No, he's not. He finished it. He didn't use any DRS there, though. ERS, even. There's a 106.9. It's obviously just a banker lap, burn some fuel. He stayed right, so I don't think he's going for it again. No, he is using his hot lap mode.
Beefy bringing it in to the pit lane there. Not the start he wanted to the session. Right aboard the Rembo for the last corner now. Very tidy through there, on the power nicely. DRS open.
Fastest on the mediums, a 104.8. Another great lap.
A cracking lap there on the mediums. But Seppo's has gone top.
Look at that, 4,000 for a second between them. We could have a good battle between these 3 or 4 drivers today.
Looking very close tonight.
Got a Ferrari coming round the final corner. That's Ishinology. He's going to pit. Got a Red Bull of Axwin behind him, who's decided to go again. Fastest on the softs. It's a 104.7. He would have. What did he do? It was a 103.9 in Q1, so we know he can go faster than that.
That's looking to me as a banker, ready for those medium tyres.
We got CRG, GOC and Seppos has impressed him. Looked to be very good in the wet as well. I agree, he's been very good, but Maz goes fastest. 104.7 on the softs. We've got the McLaren coming around the final corner now, on board with Ayavik. There's Go Top with a 104.5. It's heating up now, Pillars. We're gonna get some quick times. We've still got Beefy and Gods to go out. Unfortunately, we've lost Varun. Not sure what happened. Obviously,
we've got Madam
Sammy's
Martin
invalidated.
King, all waiting to go out to set a lap. God's on an out lap, and so's Beefy's back out, straight back out there again.
Well, Sammy's going again on the mediums, so we'll see what Sammy does. He's currently on a 105 dead, which is a good time on those mediums. But he's obviously going to try to... Well, he's slightly faster. Not much in it. Less than a tenth. Ooh, back end wanted to get away from him there, but held it nicely. Again, these corners so tricky to hook up. And that's where you met Pillars pushing you out wide into the invalid. It's very, very difficult, very easy to do. We've lost Seppos. Hopefully get back in, because he's currently...
Could be a contender for pole position into Q3.
Well, he's George's favourite by the look of it. Sammy's going to come in. My guess is he's going to go and have a run on the softs now. 3 laps on those mediums is about your limit. If you want to do the 1 stop anyway. If you're going to 2 stop, you do as many as you like. We've got King Wafik coming around the final corner. Invalidated. That'll probably be a this and next lap as well. Yes, it is. So he's not even going to be able to set another. That's unfortunate.
Beefy are coming around now. The final two double right-handers. Very tidy through there, taking a little bit of curve. Quick down into the last corner and invalidated.
He's got 7 minutes to get another lap in, but at the moment he is out along with Varun, Madden, Mars Attacking and King Wafik. None of those have set times.
I could be in for a long night if I've put the curse on Beefy here.
I really couldn't call this, you know. It's very, very tight. We got 5 temps between the top 6 on a couple of top 7 actually. Top 8. Yeah, 5 temps between the top 8 cars with a couple of different compounds in there. It's going to be very interesting. We also don't know if it's going to be a wet or a dry race. These guys could be using sort of a hybrid setup.
Yep.
Have we got anybody out on a fast lap? We got Madden, who on my date has gone purple in Sector 1. I'm not sure what the time was because I caught it a bit late. We'll go on board. Seen quite a lot of invalids pushed out to these 2 right-handers. Nice and neat from Madan 29. Another purple on my telemetry.
Yeah, seeing the same there as well.
The game does this a lot, but if it's not the game and he is actually purple, this is going to be a very good lap. Oh, it's invalid on the final corner. Just caught that inside curb. Again, so easy to do. King Wafik is also on a lap. He's in the middle sector.
Between this track and Russia are definitely for me the 2 hardest to keep valid laps on.
Yeah, Russia's track limits are not quite normal.
It's a little bit easier this year with the sleeping policeman on most of the curves now, but...
King Wafik slotting in nicely into that top group of guys that are all within sort of a few temps of each other. Though I say that, Akshwin's matched his Q1 time and done a 103.9 again.
So he's pushing now.
So, he's looking pretty good. He's definitely starting on the softs. What's Romain doing? Has he got a valid lap? He's out of ERS. So he's not going to be going again. No improvement. So at the moment we've still got Ishanology is now out. Beefy, Madden and Mars Attacking still yet to do laps.
I'm going to ride on board the Beast for his out lap and for his fast lap now as well. Madden just starting a lap now as well.
Yeah, I'm on board with Madden. Nice and valid through turn 1. Punches the DRS. Coming up to this non-existent turn 2. Just a slight left kink. Is enough that you've got to work on the line. Keeps the back end nice and neat as well. And DRS for the 3rd time. Looking good so far this lap. It looks pretty good. We've got Seppo's has come back, which is a bonus. He's currently safe on the mediums. One of 2 guys in the... I don't know, Mars Attacking just on the line, so Madan's going to lose some time through that. The Renault on an outlap, just holding him up a little bit, and he is catching up to a Haas as well. Hopefully he doesn't get held up twice on the same lap.
Haas has just pulled it into the box now.
Face. He's in nice and out the way. Oh, and that back end's gone. Into 10th full. You could definitely improve on that because he had a couple of obstructions, but fair play for getting that into the top 10 with losing the back end and a bit of an obstruction.
Still time for him to get a lap on.
Mars Attacking is starting his lap. Lock up slightly into turn 1.
Riding on board of Beefy now though is purple in 2, coming into the final double right. Hopefully this time no invalidations, keeps it tidy for the 1st and the 2nd. Now the short straight. 103.7, it's a good lap.
Very good lap. Go back on board with Mars Attacking, who's now the only man to not to set a lap around here. Not actually pushing it at the moment, he's still got 100% ERS. With 3 minutes to go, he needs to get a move on though if he's going to be setting a lap. I think he's just gearing up for it. I think he abandoned it after that lockup on turn 1 on the previous attempt.
Yeah. Great
So here we go.
Last corner.
Slight lockup again, but doesn't look like any time lost. There's 109.6. He needs to go about 4 seconds faster, 5 seconds faster than that. He's half a second up in Sector 1. But at the moment, it's Sammy with a 105 dead as the cutoff point, so he needs to be 4.5 seconds up at least on this delta to get into that top 10, because there isn't much time for another run at this.
Nope. But it's great traction out of turn 3 to get on the power.
Very neat.
A little bit of curb keeps it valid.
Purple, 3.3 seconds up on the delta, which is 6.3 at the moment, so another second and a half to find. I think he could do it because he was very, very cautious through here last time winding up. This could be a very nice lap. Oh, he's invalid on the exit. That's such a shame. It was a 104.5, so it would have been enough. Would have been enough.
Put him in that group.
Would have been enough. Well, Sammy at the moment is the cut-off point, and he's gone back out on a set of softs, probably just to make sure, which means that Seppo's staying in the pits is the only guy in the top 10 starting on mediums if Sammy improves.
That could be risky.
It could be risky, but
it's out behind him.
Yeah, but at the same time, if he can stick with the guys ahead and let them drag him along, then it's going to be very good to be on the faster compound towards the end of the race.
It is hard to get out of DRS around here, with the track so short and the 3 DRS zones.
On board with Sammy. I think we're going to get quite a lot of penalties today, judging from this qualifying session, though I suppose they are pushing a bit more than they would in the race to try and get that perfect lap. Sammy is up at the moment on his delta into Sector 1.
Nicely on the power out of turn 3.
Mars gets out the way nicely for him, as does Gods. The racing points being very respectful there. Seppo's either thinks he's had enough or doesn't want to start on the softs, so he's retired. 104.8. Actually, Renbo's also another one who did a medium run.
Yeah.
Sammy getting purple in Sector 2. Very nice lap this, by the way. Very neat and tidy. I know Sammy's on a wheel and it's very, very neat. Hooks it up nicely. Comes on through with a 104.3. Very good lap. That should be enough for him, I think. What else have we got out there?
On board with Renbo's with Mars just getting in the way in the middle of the track there.
I just caught the end of that.
But she's still 4 tenths up.
Yeah, this is a soft run compared to a medium run first time though, isn't it?
But yeah, I didn't think it would be that far up though with Mars in the middle of the track though. I thought she might lose a little bit there.
Keeps it valid and decides nope, gonna stay on the mediums. Is it enough? I think it is. We've got Mars attacking that cannot. It's going to be enough, yeah. So we will have Seppo's and Renbo both starting on the mediums for the race. And that is it. Everybody's in the pits or finish their laps. So Beefy fastest this time round. Ashwin 2 tenths off. Maz and Sammy very close together, with King Wafik with a satisfying my OCD with a 104.444. It is pleasing to see those times.
It is, yeah.
But it's very close. You look at that top 10, it's close between everybody there.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we've lost Ishanology, who is 11th, but will start 16th for that 5-place grid penalty. Madan, Roman Drito, and Mars attacking. Varun lost it somewhere or retired, I don't know what, but there was a Haas in the gravel in the middle sector when it got a bit messy a few minutes into that qualifying session.
Did indeed. But it's gearing up for a great race so far. I think there's going to be a lot of battles throughout the field. So at least nothing for us to get bored over, mate.
Hopefully not, no. I still have no idea if it's a dry or wet race.
Hopefully if someone's watching the stream they can pop it in the comments for us.
Very unlikely. I mean, who would want to spend their Saturday night listening to me and you talk absolute waffle in amongst watching some talented people play? We're doing our best. We got
We need your help, George.
Gio saying Seppo's is at least 2 temps faster against half the grid on the soft tyres. His pace is going to be on point towards the end. So Seppo's has a fan in CRG Gio. But your man Beefy at the moment is, you know, looking good. 2 guys now have broken to Ashwin's consistently in those 103.9s. But don't forget Seppo's and Renbo both qualifying in the mediums, so they're going to be looking to get on pole on the softs. Only 4 thousandths of a second between them as well. That's so tight.
This is going to be a crazy Q3 coming up. Obviously, I'm going to be wanting Beefy, as he is my pick, but I can't choose it. I can't choose it right now.
Exciting stuff, anyway. So, who's going to break in Q3? My money's on Seppo's being straight out. Every time, straight out.
Always.
So keen. Well, it's who's got the tyres left as well. A couple of guys invalidated, so are they going to have enough fresh sets of tyres for 2 runs at this?
I think Beefy might have used a couple of sets in Q2 then, so unless he sets a time on scrub set, and then the last lap he is on the fresh ones.
First out, well, it was nearly Sammy first out, but he's just got pipped to the post by Furface, whose Haas team just said, nope, off you go, but he's hit the wall. On the exit, is that an end plate gone?
That's an end plate, that is an end plate.
Yeah, so he's hit the wall and lost an end plate, which means we will ride on board with Sammy. And once again, the telemetry turns itself off, because Codemasters are amazing. We'll go on board with Sammy for his outlap and his flying lap. What I do like about this game this year is you can look behind when you're riding on board yourself.
Yeah,
that is a nice addition, but Sammy's let people pass, so who is the first on track? Because it's going to be your man Beefy, because Furface has that damage in the Haas, so I can imagine him coming straight back in the pit to get that wing changed. If he's slowing it down, we've got a McLaren sneaking through, and it's Ayerwerk. There we go. My English is not the best. So Ayerwerk we will ride on board with, as he's the first man to cross the line. Yeah, Furface has come back into the pit to change that wing.
Yeah.
Oh, back end's gone from Ayerwerk. Lost quite a lot of time you would have lost there. Got Furface in the pits, is the only one in the pits. Everybody else out on track.
It's going to get very busy.
It's there's plenty of room out there, but we are going to have a struggle to keep up with who's where and on what lap for now. We've taken a nice wide line, makes it safe.
Yeah.
Obviously purple in sector 2, using the curb nicely. Has got an Alfa Romeo steaming behind though, so as nice and neat as this lap's been, I think Beefy is flying behind So Ayurved will come across with a 104.7 and Beefy with a 103.6. That's the fastest lap so far we've seen today.
Definitely, it's a very solid lap from Beefy there.
Has invalidated. So has Seppo's.
And Maz with a 104.
Maz is a 104.4.
King with a 104.3. So Beefy looking very handy right now.
God's around the final corner to finish his lap. Will go across with a 103.9. Another person into the 103s. It's getting faster.
It's getting spicy out there. God's in the threes by 1,000. But that doesn't matter. He's in the threes.
Axwin is on a fast lap. Going to be the next person to cross the line. Remember, Axwin was fastest in the first qualifying session. In that change in weather conditions. Yellow flags. We've got a Haas in the wall. That's an invalidated lap. So let's go and see why there's a Haas in the wall. Nope, it's not. It's not Haas in the wall. It's Furface again. But I think it's just a slow down. And we've got Rentbo coming across the line. Invalid. So Rentbo's going to be gearing up for another fast lap, I imagine. Yeah. So let's ride on board with Seppo's for the last two corners. Making sure it's valid here. Back end wants to go, keeps it nicely, and coming through with a 104.2. A lot of time to find there from Seppo's.
Might have played it safe there. Back on board with Rentbo. He sets a purple on my Delta, but as he said earlier, there is a few issues lying on this game. But we'll follow on board Dennis Slosh Gold.
Maz is also starting a fast lap, so we'll jump on board with you with Rentbo.
Now takes the curb, widens the corner, keeps it nice and tight. A little bit of curve on the exit. Purple into two. Solid through there. And now down to the two fast double rights to finish the lap off.
Nice and neat.
Nice. It's a 104.1.
Before and slotting in third place for now.
But with 2 laps done on those, definitely time to be found with a fresh set coming on.
Seppo's into the pit, so that's Furface finally going to finish a lap after that wing damage. Moves to 7th with a 104.5, so who else is out there? Gods is going for again. Gods doesn't improve, but is still in hot lap mode. Right on board because there's not much else happening around here. Rentbo is out, but I'm not sure if she's going again.
That looks like with the ERS, I think she's about to put it into the box and put a new fresh sauce.
Gods has gone faster than his own time in Sector 1. Still a bit of time to find for Beefy, but this looks promising. Keeps it nice and tidy. It's going to be even closer between these top two. Of course, Axwin and Sammy both still need to set a lap. Unfortunately invalidated on their first runs. But with plenty of time left around here. That's an invalid as well from Gods. Almost 2 temps up. Was looking to be very close. Now imagine Gods is just going to slot it into the box. Yeah.
With a second between the times set. From Beefy to Aravik. Aravik is still time to be found from the guys below, I believe. But be interested if Beefy's got any more in the locker.
Maz throwing it in. Maz is obviously driving Perez's car here today. Does a 104.4 there. Starting up a fast lap now, 104.4, so you know, a couple of temps could be the difference between starting 7th and 8th here and starting sort of on the second row at the moment. Yep. Almost identical first sector time.
Nice on the power out of turn 3 again.
Yeah, at the moment we got the front row of the grid, as George has pointed out, we've got the front row of the grid currently on softs, the second row both on the mediums, which could make it very interesting the first couple of laps whether or not they can stay with the soft runners and keep the other soft runners behind.
For sure.
Yeah. Maz is a lot quicker on his own time. That's 3 temps up. Keep this nice and tidy, and that's going to be a very competitive lap. Oh, it's still valid. It's still valid. He's throwing that car. Some commitment there. Fair play. And it was faster. Gets right in between the middle of those medium runners into 4th.
If he can get around again, I think there's probably still time to be found.
Yeah, there's plenty of time to be found around here. We've got...
Especially in the sector 3 from Mazda.
Axwin goes second with a 3.9. Again, that's Mr. Consistent, Axwin. I fancy him for a very, very neat and tidy race.
Yeah,
his lap times seem very similar. I think his race pace, if he can keep it the same as what he's done in qualifying, will be pretty good.
Right, I'm on board with Seppo, so I think he might be starting a lap now.
Seppo's, of course, George's favourite for the race.
It's a question for you there, mate. Who's your favourite for tonight, if you have to pick one?
Do you know what? It's very tough to call. I wouldn't say I've got a favourite for this race. I think there's 3 or 4 that could win this race, providing there's no damage and incidents, etc.
Sitting on the fence a little bit there.
I'm going to have so many splinters sitting on this fence, yeah. I don't want to give the commentator's curse to anyone, you know. But Seppo's is nearly 4 temps up. This is going to be quick if he can hook it up in the final sector. I think Mr. Beefy may be coming out for another lap if this can be hooked up. And Fairface has been disqualified from the session for driving the wrong way, and Seppo's goes second at 103.9. So nobody's got near Beefy's time at the moment. Very, very quick. So Fairface has been disqualified, which bumps the guys up, Sammy up, who's the only man who hasn't actually set a valid lap, but that could change.
He's coming in, he's punching the throttle, DRS open.
104.1 up to 6th place. It's still very close, and I've just noticed that Gods and Renbo have exactly the same time.
Oh yeah, they do. And
in Formula 1 rules, I believe it's the one who sets it first gets the position. Going on, I think it was Schumacher, Hakkinen and Frentzen. A long, long time ago, and all 3 set exactly the same lap time.
That is back in the day with those names there.
Back in the glory days, that was. Back in the glory days, the sound of the cars, the look of the cars.
The racing was more exciting than what it is now.
Well, Renbo is not on a lap. But
Gods is.
We've got a minute left. Gods is on a lap. Okay, we'll go on board with Gods. Renbo will be starting a lap. She's going to be looking to try and improve on 103.999. Gods losing the back end slightly. Seen a lot of that again. That back end just stepping out a little bit.
A little bit loosey-goosey. Little lock up on the inside.
That won't happen. That's still a nice fast corner.
Through there, though.
Yeah, very nice. Yellow flags where, yeah, it's okay. That's Renbo coming into the pits, and Renbo must have given up that lap. That's it. God's slightly down, but 4th place for now is safe. And
takes a lot of curb. A little bit wide through there.
Slower.
Doesn't
so
improve.
Who have we got out on track? King Wafik is on a lap.
We've got the beef.
Only just up. We've not seen much of King Wafik in this, but is there in 9th, and it's only just
going under the radar a little bit.
Anyone in this top 10, I say anyone in this top, anyone in the race can win it, of course, obviously, and that's up to 6th place. It's a good final lap, right when it matters. We got the Sami though is 3 temps up in sector 2.
Following beef, go through the last corner, and it's wide. It's going to take a lot of time off them there, and it did. It cost them. But provisional pole if Sammy can't make the time up.
Sammy does improve, goes up to 4th place. So, that Gods is the only one left, and Gods is 2.5 attempts up. Oh, it's invalid.
That is.
That's unfortunate. So that is it, I believe.
Maz
Maz
is
is
invalidated as well.
That is our order. FIFA Beefy grabbing pole in season... Well, the first season... Is this the first season of Div 2? I don't know. I think so. So Beefy becomes the first person this season to get a pole position in Division 2. It's a record he's going to hold for at least a week.
You said snatching. You sure he wasn't stealing?
Well, we'll see if he can steal a podium today. Or the top step. Don't forget, NUF1. I know it's a very consistent drive. He's going to have a lot of work to do from the back, but don't forget Brandon. Very competent racer. And a nice guy.
Yeah, no, definitely. Raced him in his team in the 24 hours and had the pace when I raced him in his team, so definitely one to look out for.
Seppo was under my radar there, snuck into P2. So he will start on the front row on the mediums. And I missed that lap, so apologies Seppos, but... We got George saying, NUF1 do it for Geo Grand Prix Racing. Right, no advertising here please George. This is Velocity International Racing. Well, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that it's dry for the race, because those times are not far off time trial times there. So
I'm going to say, with the people starting on mediums as well, it will be dry. I think if it was wet,
that's a very good point.
It would be all softs.
Oh.
There is your order there. In Q3 with FIFA Beefy in P1, Seppos in P2, Ashwin in P3, Sammy in P4, Gods in P5, Redbow P6, in P7 we've got King, 8 we have Maz, Aravik in 9th, and Fairface in P10.
With that disqualification, driving the wrong way, which is probably harsh. It was probably a spin, and it was turning round, and the game said, can't do that.
But Cody's being Cody's.
Oh, Sam says, not bad for P4. Bottled turned 2 up and lost thing. Would have had P2. It was a good lap, Sam. Very good lap. On board for the end of it, and it looked very neat. We didn't see the turn 2, but nice job on the second row. Wait while they all do their strategies on the grid. What would you go for around here?
I think for me, I'll just go softs. It's a tricky one. I'd want to go mediums because I'd want this pace on the softs to kind of get through the field at the back end. Run a little bit more fuel to run in that rich mix just when you're in the DRS zone. But if you want to lead from the front, get out there and build the gap, then I'd want to go softs, but it's definitely a tricky one around here.
Yeah, I think softs are going to probably go about 16 laps around here. Mediums about 20, 21 laps at a push. Obviously, we're going to struggle with the tyre data telemetry because I know on this game it's not the best at the moment.
You've done 27 laps and only raced 18.
You know, I genuinely think that soft hard running is pretty good. As we start the formation lap, let's get this telemetry on. So,
for the second stint of the race, you can push as hard as you like, and I think that's the best thing with going hards. Is that you haven't got any tyre worries for the second half of the Grand Prix. So,
well, we've had a bit of contact between some of the guys already on the formation lap, so they will start on the grid with nice cold tyres. But it's interestingly, mate, we only have 2 people outside the top 10 that have not opted for the softs. Nobody has gone hards to begin the race with.
I think
We've got Maz back.
if you're going to run, as you got the predicted pit stop set, as you said, about 16 laps, and about 13 if you want to go on to the hard. So I think if you're outside the top 10, you haven't got anything to lose. You've got everything to gain. So be interested to see if anybody can make up those positions straight from the offset.
And we've got Andenge in the chat, the Division 1 race winner from the week. If anyone knows how to drive round here from the front, it's that man. He says, Ville Division 2 guys who are part of LNR, good luck. So, good luck you guys. And good luck in this race. For everybody. So, as they come round the final corners, bit of ghosting going on where the game takes over. Predicted stop again. At 14 to 16 for the mediums, 12 to 16 for the hards. I'm not sure what the predicted is going to be for the likes of Seppos and Renbo. Probably see if they can drag those out for 20, 21 laps, providing there's no safety car.
For sure.
So, we've got the tyres. We don't need the tyres up. Let's get position change and wait for these lights to go off. And the game really wants to show me the predicted pit stop strategy. Here we go. It's time. I think. Oh, we've lost Maz at the start, unfortunately. There's 3 lights, 4 lights and 5 lights. And they're off. Good start there from Beefy. Great start from Beefy. There's a racing point flying through on the right. That's Maz, who I don't actually think is in the game.
No, he's not. He's ghosting. He is
and
ghosting.
We've got a Williams and an Alpha. We've got an AlphaTauri of Renbo. Unfortunately, she's had contact. There's front wing all over the track. I'm not sure if there's any damage on that car. It doesn't look to be any damage. As we go back to the front, Beefy still leads away. But I'm not sure what happened there. But there was definitely a bit of contact. We got Madan, 5-second penalty, gained a place. But Beefy leads away through Slosh Gold, and he's almost pulling away. Well, that's because Seppos is on that medium tyre, isn't he? Yeah,
for sure. But this is what Beefy needs to do. He needs to push now. The big thing now is Seppos already with a 3-second penalty, which won't help him at all going forward now.
Ajovic has just thrown it down the inside there of Kurtboy. Nice move. Coming in, he's got Kurtboy all over the back of him now, though, coming into the final 2 corners. DRS enabled on lap 3. This is not lap 3.
This is lap... What is going on?
I don't know. Apparently we've got DRS enabled, but for me this is lap 3 when I think it's lap 1.
And apparently Vilmaz has done a fast lap of a 20-second lap, so... This needs to sort itself out pretty quickly here.
Yeah, because I've got FIFA Beefy who is leading the race, but my telemetry is throwing him all over the place right now.
I've got all sorts. And Madden with a 3-second penalty now.
So we've got Beefy is leading, Seppos is in 2nd place, Axwin's in 3rd with Sammy all over the back of him. This is very close. Sammy looking to go around the outside.
Gone up the inside.
Inside now.
Oh, it's going to be tight.
Keeping it tight.
Keeping it clean. I think it's sorting itself out now, so...
It looks to be. That's Sammy and Axwin, very, very, very respectful between those two, but Sammy's still going to be on the back of him. So, we believe this is now the start of lap 3. There we go, yeah. Beefy's done 2 laps on the tyres, so my telemetry hasn't changed. Beefy's 3-second lead already from Seppos. He's just going to have to keep powering away at that and...
Sammy now climbing over the back of Axwin.
Varen's taking Ishianology. And Sammy gets 3rd place.
Oh, he's out broken.
He's run wide. Is he going to keep the pace from the racing point? He is. Gods is going to be right on the back of him now, though. Kurtboy gets a 5-second penalty for corner cutting. Well, 5 seconds seems a bit harsh. That must have been a huge corner cut. And we've got a... Well, he's going very slow. He's now at the back. Renbo is... Well, she's got herself back on the pack, right behind NUF1. So, done well to recover from that early spin. from whatever contact
Definitely.
there was.
I mean, that is a huge little train behind Mars Attacking, who has King all over the back of him now.
And Mars Attacking, of course, on the medium tyre, so he's going to want to try and keep these guys behind or latch on to the train itself. But I'm going to go back to Sammy because Sammy is within that DRS. My telemetry seems to have sorted itself out. We're now on lap 4, which is correct. I think we could be in for an evening of this with Ashwin and Sammy. Sammy looking to go down the insides. A bit of contact.
Oh,
no damage.
Oh,
Has he taken that position? I think he has.
I think he has.
Yeah, he's got third. Can he keep it though? Can he keep it now coming into Schloss Gold? Yeah, Ashwin decides not to go for it back. Have we got someone backwards?
Arabic round.
And there's no end plate. There's no end plate on that car, so that's going to be an early stop, I imagine. We've also got Kurt Boys now coming out of the pits. But as it stands, Beefy is motoring away with this.
This is what he had to do. I think with Seppo's on the medium tyres, the Sammy gets a penalty, but with Beefy had to really push. But to grab a second a lap, he's doing really well here.
We've lost Maz again. I think Maz is having some internet connection issues. Oh, and this is spin. Maz Attacking's just lost it on the home straight. That car's round. There's a reset to track. Don't think we're going to get any VSC or safety car for it. Nope. Maz Attacking lost it coming out of that final corner. Renbo up to 12th place, right behind the teammate now. So, we're going to see some team orders for the medium runner, or are we just going to latch on? What do you think? I think Renboy's just going to go for it. Renboy looks like she's on a mission after that early spin.
I mean, it's a great recovery from being down in last to getting herself back up to P12.
Well, while we've not been watching, Gods has taken P4 from Ashwin and is still in the DRS of Sammy. Sammy now needs to close down Seppo's though.
1.9 and the gap is closing slowly from Sammy to Seppo's. But Beefy looks in real good control right now.
Yeah, but Beefy looks like he's in control of this race at the moment.
Varun is all over the back of Roman here, and he gets a great exit. He's going to be on the DRS, puts it in overtake. Roman goes defensive to the inside. And Varun goes around the outside. He's going to try the undercut. No, he doesn't.
Avoids hitting the back by just taking it wide, but he's going to have that DRS and he's still, well, he's almost out of ERS. He's not going to be able to bang it into overtake. Can he keep the traction around the outside? No, it's going to be a lot of respect. Roman's gone deep. That's a position move. Nicely done from Varun there, taking advantage of Roman going deep. Fairface has gone ahead of Maz Attacking, who's in the pits, getting that damage fixed. So we've got Maz is I think Maz might be back in the car. I'm not sure. It doesn't look like it's ghosting anymore. So after that frantic start, there's still a train going on in the middle. Roman's now taking... Action's down in 10th place. I'm not sure if there's damage there. Now 11th, 12th.
There is damage. There is damage.
There's a lot of damage. That's a front... that's the end plate completely gone. Part of the wing, that's big damage.
Oh, that is ruined.
Sammy gets another time penalty. That could cost him come the end of the race.
And Brandon's round. Dropped it on the last corner.
Well, he's going to get going again. Has he got... No, he's not got damage, so hopefully he can recover from that. Down in 12th at the minute. Renbo up in the points, still right on the back of the other Alpha Tauri.
But look at
the back of this train. This train's going to be very, very tough. Ishanology at the moment is the cause of this train because of that medium tyre. But I can imagine those mediums coming in soon.
Definitely, for sure.
Sammy is almost in DRS range of Seppo's. Now, Beefy's carved a 7.1 second lead against Seppo's, but you expect a big lead with the different compound of tyres not being challenged. What's helped Seppo's was the fight with Sammy and Ashwin earlier on. Yeah. Easy for me to say.
But the good thing for Sammy is he's gapping Gods right now, so he won't have any pressure from behind. All he has to do is concentrate on closing that gap into the DRS of Seppo's.
We got Varun really needs to make the most of Ishinology not having DRS, because that gap is getting bigger and bigger to Gods. The front four at the moment are pulling away quite significantly.
Here comes King. King going for a lunge up the inside. Oh, he's squeezing.
Oh, and he's going to lose that place.
That's a great move from
Matan, double overtake there, and King's made the move stick on Roman, so Roman goes down too. Unfortunately for Renbo, just being at the back of the chain. And that's King Wafik. Sideways, and a 3-second penalty for Seppo's again. I think that's 6 seconds now, so him and Sammy, I believe, are both equal. Unless anything changes at the moment, I think Beefy is gone. Sammy gets another one, just as I say, and runs very wide, takes out the DRS sign.
Renbo going up, looking at the inside of her teammate, who, his contacting. Renbo's got damage again.
Yeah, there's a definite end plate missing this time. Definite end plate missing.
But going back to that collision with Roman and King, Roman outbroke himself into King, which then put him into Madden. See, Renbo picks up a couple of places, but now it's going to be tough for her. With the damage on the mediums, can she make it work now? She's slotting up the inside.
That's a great move. Great move with damage on that car. Really good move there.
Really good move. On a mission.
Sammy has dropped back into the clutches of Gods. Gods is now in the DRS of Sammy. So that'll be interesting. Akshin is retired from the session. Is that in the pit lane? No, he's lost the car. Lost the car there. We've got a virtual safety car, and Akshin has no tyre left. So that's the end of his race. Looked very promising. Q1 and Q2, good qualifying, unfortunate. Obviously picked up damage and went to the hards. Those, don't know if there was contact, but that's our first retiree. Gods is making the most of this and is pitting early. And I can imagine this is going to be a hard stop. Nope, softs again. Or is it? I don't know. No, it is softs again. Softs again.
So he's going...
Watch out for Gods' pace. Gods is going to be looking very quick. But while that's happening, Renbo's moved up to P6 and got the jump.
Is he going to get stopped by Roman? No, he's not. He's gotten out in front of Roman.
We got Madan in the pits having a wing change. The question is, how long will this virtual safety car last? Beefy's not going to make the pit lane, so how many more are going to get almost a half pit stop time for this? DRS is enabled, so we're off again. Nobody else coming in. Beefy's coming up to the back of King Wafik already. We're only on lap 10 and he's looking at lapping cars. He's had a storming start. But
at least so far the commentator's curse hasn't come in on him, but 26 laps left.
26 laps left and a lot to go on. And Ishinology is still the cork in the bottle of this train.
Varun must be starting to get a little bit annoyed now, but obviously hasn't got the pressure from Renbo behind. So it is just a matter of getting past Ishinology now, if he can. Using that overtake, which he saved really well under the VSC now.
Well, Renbo has no DRS off the car in front, and Gods is on those fresh softs. I can't see this lasting long, especially as Renbo has damage. I expect Gods around the outside. Renbo getting a 3-second time penalty, which is quite harsh considering she was given room, but Cody's again.
Classic Cody's.
So Gods moving back up to 6th on a fresh set of tyres. Obviously looking to go hard and fast on this soft medium run. Those mediums do drop off. They dropped off the other night. I could feel them going. Luckily everybody else, bar Peas, who was already long gone, was on them. But that Furface is on the hards. King Wafik has gone onto the hards as well, but he has Beefy barreling down behind him, so maybe he could use Beefy's DRS and go with him.
It's definitely looking that way. Just as you said earlier, just dragging yourself along when you don't need to fight too hard.
I'm currently on board with Gods, who's caught about a second on Varun on these new sets of softs, and he's going to be looking to blitz him and maybe get Ishinology, because Ishinology, although he's been the cork in the bottle, has had a solid drive, is still in P4 and is still on that medium tyre.
He's looking very good now. If he can,
That's a great
keep it
exit from
steady.
Gods. Gods should have this move easy. He does.
And now he'll get the toe off Ishnology as well for good measure. But the grip difference, as you can tell from the softs from Baron to Gods, is incredible right now.
So he'll probably spend the middle sector behind him as Brandon makes a move on Maz, who's ghosting. So Maz is not in the session again, or hasn't come back. I'm not sure what went on. But Brandon up to P9 after that spin, in the points.
As you said, it's going under the radar a little bit with the spin. But as you said, you can't count them out for points.
Well, Gods is right on the back of Ishnology, and I expect Beefy and Sammy's pitting first. Sammy is coming in first.
Is he trying to trigger Beefy into going next lap, or will Beefy?
Well, Sammy's gone on the hards, which is, in my opinion, the better strategy to be on. So Sammy will be looking good towards the end of this race. Prevent all these from that's a wing gone.
Oh, no.
Gods is going to lose that front wing, so unfortunately for Gods, that contact is going to cost him. Varun takes his chance and finally gets past Ishnology in the background there.
But you can see there the end plate completely off, just misjudged it. It's easy to do when you're on fresher tyres and the guy in front as well.
Ishnology's back through. We'll have the inside going into Schloss Gold. Oh, he doesn't even need the inside. Gets through easy. So Ishnology carries on ahead of Varun. A good battle between these two. So Sammy feeds out in 7th on those hards. He's looking good for a podium.
He must have got I think he must have gotten Roman last he got out of the pits, because I saw him come out in P8, so he must have made an overtake before then. Those hards working well for Sammy already. Beefy has now lapped King Wafik. And those mediums, I think, are coming into their own now, with Seppo's closing that gap slowly, lap by lap.
Yeah, I think Beefy needs, if he's going to be going to the mediums are about 20-21 laps, and that's giving them it all. So Beefy needs another 3 laps, maybe. Unless he goes to hard. He's got a big enough lead to go to hard, because Seppo's will have to do another 6 or 7 laps on those mediums before he can change to the softs. Because he won't want to go to anything but the softs from here.
No, definitely not, definitely not.
Well, we've got Ishnology is still on the back of Gods with that damage now. So he will be faster than he would have been previously. He's going for it. He's going to overcook that. He's lost a place through that. Renbo will close in now.
All the hard work to get past Varun on the last lap has just been thrown away there.
He's just outbroke himself. It's unfortunate.
He's desperate to get past Gods, but...
And Rainbow gets a 3-second time penalty. I'm not sure about penalties. We'll have to have a look at that sort of a bit later on.
I'm getting them noted at the moment as best I can.
Sammy has closed in and is in the DRS on Renbo, who is just pitted.
That'll be...
So Renbo's probably going to be going hard till the end from here. 5-second penalty as well for speeding in the pit lane. It's not gone too well for Renbo. She was looking very good in qualifying and has just been so unfortunate with some of the incidences in this race. I don't think I can say she's at fault for any of them.
No, definitely not. Definitely leaving the first lap, getting spun, and then the contact with his teammate when she wanted to go through. Just, it's unfortunate there's days like this, but Brandon coming out on mediums just behind her as Furface gets through past Brandon.
A battle for 15th here between King Wafik and Ayavurk, who just both unlapped themselves from Beefy now. He's going to look on the inside for it. That's about the closest battle we've got on track. Sammy is now in the DRS of Ishnology, though.
Spit it out there, mate.
Oh, I'm trying. We got Mars attacking, apparently on 22 lap old softs on lap 16, which is very impressive.
Kraken's sitting there tired, God, at the moment.
But he's on the back of Brandon, who's just come out of the pits.
Seppo's box for hards.
Seppo's box for hard. Now that's strange, and he must have felt those mediums were not getting on with those mediums at all. But Sammy's gone for the outside here on Ishnology. These two obviously come together in Q2, and Ishinology got the 5th-place grid penalty for whatever happened between them, but Sammy will look to be passing him very soon because we're on lap 16. Although it says 0 laps, I know Ishinology hasn't pit yet, so he's on 16 lap old mediums. Beefy's got a nice lead now of 8 seconds, and I've lost it. I've lost it all.
Yeah,
I've lost it all.
But I am on board with Roman, who is in the DRS of Rembo, and Furface just behind, and Brandon closing in on that with Mars as well. So Brandon bringing Mars along to this battle.
Well, Ishinology is just pitting. That's a lap 17. That's very early for those medium tyres. I can imagine he's going on the hards as well then. No, he's going soft, so he's going to go 2-stop. He's going to 2-stop those softs, soft to the end. So Sammy back up to 4th place, 4 seconds behind God, who I believe still has damage. He does still have damage. So Sammy's going to be looking to really try and get on the back of Gods. Sammy will be going to the end. Gods won't be on those softs. We've got a drive-through penalty. That's a severe collision.
Oh, well, oh no.
What's going on there?
Here? What is going on now?
So Kirkboy's going to serve his drive-through. And I'm not sure... He must have picked up some damage. Well, he's not serving his drive-through, he's serving a pit stop. So he's going to have to go round again and come in and serve that drive-through within 3 laps. But the closest battle we've got on track is Furface and Roman. Or Romain. Romain Drito is... Well, we've got 0 laps on my telemetry, of course. I don't know how long he's been on those mediums for.
I think as well, mate, we've got to look out for Brandon, who is closed in, throwing the car through.
Furface and Ishinology both just getting penalties there. Beefy's extending that gap, obviously, on the medium tyres. He should have this wrapped up, providing he doesn't make mistakes or there's no safety car.
Mars now into the pits on those 26 lap old softs, slows it down just about.
So we are only halfway through, there's a long way to go.
Brandon with an amazing exit out of turn 1.
Yeah.
DRS overtake done. On the softer compound tyre as well. But with this battle ongoing, Rembo, she's managed to get away, and Ishinology up the inside of Madden now, and now having to defend on those soft compound tyres just fitted. Busy race for us. Busy race.
Yeah, well, NUF1 is still within half a second of Romain Drito, and both on the medium compound. I expect him to be hounding him in the DRS zones on the next lap. So we will get on board with that because he's looking very quick in this middle sector of the race, is Brandon.
Yeah, for sure.
Varun has just passed Gods, who's come back out on the medium, so that's him till the end. But will these guys here manage to take him? This could be... Gods really could do with getting out in front of this, which he will do, I think. I think he will just sneak out in front of this battle. Yes, he has. He needed that for his race.
Definitely.
So he's mediums till the end. And... my dog decided he wanted to commentate as well there. Apologies for that. Brandon not able to make his stick here. Can he see? Well, he's too far away, I think, for Slosh Gold. He bangs in the overtake, though. Good defending from Roman there, stopping him getting that inside line. And Furface, they've dropped Furface from this, so Madden and Ishinology is still the closest gap. Sammy gets another penalty, though he is 12 seconds ahead of Varun for that last podium spot at the moment, so...
But Varun, with no penalties so far.
Varun with no penalties, so Varun has come from nowhere, to be honest, in this. He did spend a lot of time behind Ishinology early on, but Varun has just come from nowhere to, you know, he needs to close that gap if he wants a chance. Sammy does have penalties.
There is a podium place for him if he does want to.
Brandon's got the move done. No, Roman's gone back on the outside. This is going... Can he do this? It's a good battle between these two.
But Roman has the DRS, but he hasn't opened it. He hasn't opened the DRS.
That's probably a telemetry issue. He's got it done. Nice
Sammy.
move. Nice
Great
move.
move around the outside.
Sammy, that was Brandon, mate.
Brandon, Brandon Thieving.
Seppos gets another 3-second time penalty, and Sammy is only 6 seconds behind him. These two could be battling out for...
It will be on track though at the moment. The penalties are where they are, both with 3 each at the moment.
Both with 3 penalties each. Closest battle we've got is Furface is right on the gearbox and Mars attacking. Coming into Schloss Gold, and he's going to go for the insides. No contact, nicely done.
Lock up.
George enjoying NUF1's move down there. So he's picked up a time penalty though, but he's gone. He's dropped Roman Drito. 1.7 seconds on a lap.
I mean, that's great to get out of the DRS before getting into turn 1 and that long run up to turn 3.
Ishinology is back in the DRS of Varun on the softs. He's on the faster compound tyre. He can't go to the end on that. Well, he can, but they're going to be screaming at him. And Furface and Mars Attack are still very close as they lap Kurt Boy.
Rembo now, she's just having a quiet race now with 2 seconds, 2.7 in front of Gods and 5 behind her teammate. But Gods obviously on those fresher mediums.
It's only taken 22 seconds, but we seem to have a lull in anything going on. Other than Mars Attacking's now caught up to Mars's Ghosts with Fairface right behind. They both should make that move stick.
Yeah.
Gods gets a 3-second time penalty. This could, well, this. I'm glad we haven't got to work it out and the game's going to do it for us, to be honest.
Be here all night. Be here all night.
Well, it's interesting. Ishinology has lost the back of Varun now on DRS, but Madan has got into Ishinology's DRS, so Ishinology had a bad lap there.
Oh, great save from Madden there, but picks up a penalty, unfortunately. That was very harsh.
Does have the DRS open, so we'll be trying to get Ishinology on the next opportunity. Fairface with a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. I wonder if we'll see a disqualification here for somebody getting too many penalties.
There could be. Very possibly there could be.
And while we talk about that, a guy that's had little to no time at all on our screens is Beefy, who is just slowly going through the field, very Lewis Hamilton-esque, and is having a nice afternoon drive. Ishinology and Madan, Ishinology's pitting only after 4 laps, but then again it's my telemetry. So Madan back up to 5th, which will move Renbo up to 6th place. So AlphaTauri looking good for some points.
Nice double points there from 5th and 6th. If you can go on to the mediums now to the end.
Sammy is pulling away from Varun as well in 4th, so Sammy's and Seppo's penalties don't look like they're going to matter other than against each other, because it looks like Beefy's in a league of his own. And those two, there's 7 seconds between them. Sammy has caught him a little bit.
Definitely, it's going to be interesting in the last 12 laps of this race now to see who can close and who can be the big winners and losers with the penalties that are in hand at the moment.
Very quiet on track now. Big gaps between everybody.
Remember is actually pulling a gap from Gods.
And catching Madden. It's down to 3 seconds now. Renbo's really 2.9. Sammy gets another time penalty. So that's Sammy up to 12 seconds, but he's still got time in hand to Varun. Varun's dropped well off the back of Sammy lately. We've got a very quiet bit of driving now. Actually have a breather.
Take a load of this. Take a sip of water.
Take a sip of water.
The back end of the race.
Beefy is now in front of... Is that Roman? No, it's Mars attacking. So Beefy is looking to try and get into the points on Cars Lapped. It's absolutely flying out there. Which you did have him down as your favourite.
After the last couple of races that me and you have had with him, you know, even if he had to defend, his knowledge of defending around here is very good. Knows where to put the car, place the car. Obviously his setup around here must be working really well for him. So, a fair play to him today. He's looked very good, but obviously his job isn't done until the checker flag comes down. So,
nope, he's still got 11 laps to do. Sammy is 8 seconds behind. Roman Dorito's got a 3-second time penalty, which could change points. We could see some guys that are not in the top 10 sneak into the top 10 on penalties, because it is tight. 2-4 seconds. Ishanology down in 10th place, having done an extra stop, gets another 3-second time penalty. I'm pretty sure I saw Gods get one there as well.
Gods has one as well. But there's a battle now coming back to us with Brandon and Gods coming into it now.
Yeah.
Oh, Brandon with a little bit of a wobbly exit.
But he does have the DRS open, so that should counter the back end going out. Just needs to stay tight. Needs to stay tight on the inside in this middle sector. Get in the DRS, and you make use of all 3 zones.
Definitely. There's a yellow flag. There's Madden's round. Madden's round,
and that's Rentbo will take 5th position, which is a great recovery drive considering.
I've got to say, she has had an absolute storming drive. From being plumb last after one corner to now into P5. It's been a great recovery drive today. Madden, I think, has picked up damage.
Madden's pitted, yeah. So NUF1 is now right on the gearbox of Gods.
He's got plenty of ERS saves as well.
I'm not sure what's going on here. My telemetry decided to change the guy when I pressed look behind. King Rafiq's even got ahead of Madden. So Madden now with that damage is outside the points, down in 12th place, but onto the softs for the last 9 laps. We'll be looking to be very quick.
Mars only 3.6 up the road. Definitely possible to grab him, and also King Rafiq just to grab a point. But obviously, as we said, penalties being a big thing here. Could move himself up further into the points.
One to watch in the last few laps, while Ishanology is catching back up to Roman Drito, finally back in that DRS, is Rentbo is going to be hounding Varun. Down to less than 2 seconds at the moment for that 4th position. And closing.
Those hards, I think you were right with the hard tyre around here. It's a game changer. When the mediums start going off, the hards come into their own.
The great camera view there on that final corner when the car drives straight over the apex. Ishanology right up the end of Roman Drito, and he does make contact. He spun him. And that's a
Sammy
reset to track.
And Sammy with another penalty. But pulling away from Varun with those hard tyres. And Rentbo's slowly closing now.
Quickly closing. Rentbo is going to be filling Varun's mirrors up very quickly.
Smelling blood.
We've lost Brandon's lost the back of Gods at the moment, but I expect him to come back at him with a few laps to go. Mardan is caught up to Mars attacking and Roman Dorito, so this is Mars attacking is let through. Nice team orders there from the Renault. Nope, I think Roman's just got damage from that spin. So Madden is now going to be trying to stay in the DRS of Mars attacking for that final point.
There is huge damage on that Renault back, and he's pulled it in for box. Remember down to 1.2 now. It's definitely closing. A couple of tenths a lap.
Face gets another penalty.
He needs to watch out. The black flag could be incoming.
Well, I'm not sure who's had the most, in fairness. I've seen a couple of names.
Yeah.
And I haven't actually seen Beefy's name or Varun's name get a penalty, so those two look pretty good. That could be the saving grace for a 4th place for Varun here. I don't remember Varun getting a penalty, and Renbo did earlier on. So Renbo needs to make this move and then pull away.
Renbo has got 2 penalties. Beefy and Varun haven't got any so far.
Well, as you say, Varun gets a penalty.
Varun, there it is.
So Renbo makes that move stick. Now needs to break the DRS and pull 3 seconds away to consolidate that 4th place.
Wait. Renbo's through.
Yeah, Renbo just took on that corner. Varun got really lost the back end coming out of the exit at turn 1.
Brandon and God's going at it. Brandon going for the switch back underneath. Gets the drive at the corner. DRS overtake engaged.
Should be easy into Slosh Gold here on the inside.
There it is, through.
Nicely done. So he is up to 6th place. Now, can he catch Varun? 8 seconds in 6 laps. I don't know. Those tyres are... If they're 13-lap old tyres, they're not going to be the fastest.
But what is Renbo's hard tyres going? She's broken the DRS going into the main straight now. If they've got anything left in them, she might be able to get this 3-second gap back to Varun and keep that P4.
Oh, don't forget, if Renbo can show some pace that she showed in qualifying, and if Sammy isn't careful, they could be close between 3rd and 4th here. Fairface gets another penalty. Roman Drito and Fairface switching positions. Wheel on the grass there, and Roman Drito looking for the inside, doesn't get it. Nice defending from Fairface, but loses the back end. Ooh, almost contact between these two. Very tasty battle, that one.
If Renbo has served that 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, Renbo has 2 penalties, Sammy's 5. There's about 9 seconds in it. If you can get it down within 5 laps, P3 is on.
It's a big ask. That's 17.5 seconds. That's 8 seconds in 5 laps. I can't see that happening, but you never know. There's plenty of laps left for more penalties. Madden and King Wafik side by side into Schloss Gold. And he gets the move done. Oh, Renbo gets another penalty. Well, there you go. These two still side by sides, and King Wafik yields in the end. Madden had the line. Nice move. Those soft tyres early on against 20-lap-old hards. Not really much chance you've got, yeah. While we say that, we've got Roman Drito up the inside of Fairface. He's going to get the switch back. Yeah.
Oh! Fairface into the wall. After he gets the switch back, he plows it into the wall. Lost the back end out of Slush Gold. Big damage again on the hash.
Mars attacking is now on the back of King Wafik for the final points position.
Beefy's boxed.
Beefy obviously thinks he's got enough for the fastest lap. Remember, he doesn't have any penalties.
And he's come out just behind it. He's already got up the inside.
Motors through the inside, but Seppo's looking for the switchback. Not a chance. Not the chance against those brand new soft tyres. So Beefy looking for
Beefy
the...
defending.
Oh, he's looking for the full house now, isn't he? He got the pole position. He's looking for the fastest lap, and then he's going to be looking to see it home for the race win.
I just saw at the corner of my eye the telemetry on the left-hand side just changing, thinking, has Beefy lost it with God's getting another penalty? But maybe, as you said, he just wants that fastest lap, a full house, and it'd be a great race for him and qualifying.
We got Roman Drito, and believe it or not, Maz's Ghost is still rocking around in 13th place. Well, it might not be a ghost now. He could be back. I'm not sure. He's left and gone, left and gone. It's no idea what's going on.
The revolving door.
The revolving door of that. Ironically, I bet he's in Perez's car. Nope, he is definitely a ghost because Roman just drives straight through him into 13th place. So Maz is still out there in 14th place.
He got
Maz attacking.
Maz attacking.
Yeah, Beefy's got 2-second gap already. Beefy's long gone now. And there's Fairface disqualified from the session.
There it is.
We were expecting somebody to get disqualified. Mars attacking and King Wafik giving us some entertainment for the last couple of laps. Yellow flag in sector 3. Looks like one of the McLarens went a bit wide. I think it was Seppo's. Yes, it was. Sammy's gap's just come down to 9 seconds. 8.5. Sammy's had a nice, comfortable second half of this race. Oh, was there contact? Have we missed the contact between Wafik and Mars attacking? I look away and it all happens, look. So, any damage there? Yeah, King Wafik's missing an end plate.
I think the one problem with BC getting fastest lap is there is a huge glitch at the start where Maz has run a 20-second lap.
Yes, but in terms of
But we're going to have...
lap
then
time.
again, he will have to get another 3/10 to beat Madden. Just looking at it now, Madden with a 106.2, Beef with a 106.5.
Yeah, I imagine that the stewards will look at it and say, nope, Maz, you can't have a 20-second lap round Austria. We're going to give it to whoever did the second fastest lap.
If I was Maz, I would be appealing that.
Well, yeah, as he's not really been able to race, unfortunately. His connections let him down. But again, this now looks like it's just going to be on penalties. No battles on track for the last 2 laps. Beefy
None
is...
at all. The big one here is actually Rempo has got a 6-second gap as to what she needs to Varun.
So Renbo trying to
P4.
consolidate for P4, which would be an incredible recovery drive. For what it is, it's be an incredible recovery drive to come from spinning and damage and having your strategy changed to getting back to 4th place here would have been very good. And any F1 coming from the back to 6th place, he's still closing the gap to Varun.
The 2 big winners here of Nuff F1 and Varun, both up 9 places from their quali positions. Isonology, who started Plum P16, is up 8 positions as well. So some good movements out there today.
Yeah, I think Isonology was unfortunate to get a 5th-place grid penalty, really, because you know it was a bit of contact with the car in front in qualifying, but neither of them were on a fast lap. So
it's a strange one.
Yeah, I imagine that'll be dealt with at some point anyway, but there's nothing you can do, I suppose, with a 5-place grid penalty, is there?
Nothing at all, I don't think.
But anyway, Beefy is on to the final lap, so I'm going to go on board with him as we come up to Schloss Gold, and it's been commanding. He's done nothing wrong. He's got, as far as I'm aware, no penalties. I don't know if he got that fastest lap, because obviously we wouldn't have had anything come up. Can have a look. Fastest lap, 105.5. He did get the fastest lap of the race, bar the 22nd from Maz. So fastest lap, pole position, and 1 corner away from a race win, kicking off the season in style with the full house. And he wins it quite convincingly. Seppo's looking to come through in P2. Goes wide at the end, gets another 3-second time penalty.
Will that cost him anything?
I don't think Sammy's close enough and has too many penalties, but even so, Sammy coming through, upper place, started 4th, gets the final step on the podium. And can Renbo? Yeah, Renbo's got a nice big gap to Varun, so as long as she keeps this tight in the last 2 corners, that should be P4 settled.
And a cracking recovery drive from Renbo.
Yeah, very impressive. Renbo coming in P4.
She didn't serve it. She didn't serve it.
So can Varun sneak P4? Yes, on the line.
Yes,
Varun in P4. Renbo P5. Brandon will get P6 unless Gods has less penalties. Nope. So Brandon 6, Gods 7, and that's it. Driver of the day goes to Varun from Codemasters. You can't really argue with that with those positions gained down a P4.
Definitely not. 7 places. Had good pace all the way through the race. So
your pick was the winner. Beefy quite comfortably getting that win. I'm not sure if we're supposed to do interviews or not, but if you've got any of these guys and you want to invite them in, Pillars, while I go through these final standings.
I think I have the big beef, and I might.
We got Beefy, Seppos and Sammy were our top 3, if they are
I
available.
don't think...
So,
I
going through
haven't
the
got
final order,
Sammy.
Beefy gets the win from pole. Perfect race for him, and the fastest lap. Seppos in P2, Sammy P3, Varun with a nice 4, Renbo with a great recovery for 5, same as Brandon for 6, Gods in 7, Ishanology 8, Madan 9, and reigned in 8 the points was Maz, though he didn't race, so I'm not sure what they do with that. Maz attacking 11, King Wafik 12, Ayavik 13, Roman Drito 14, Kurtboy 15, and Axwin and didn't finish. He lost a wheel where Furface was disqualified. All in all, a good first race to Tier 2 of Ville.
I did invite Beefy, but he might not want to talk.
Let's see.
See if I can get him in a message. Here he is!
Here he is, the race winner himself. Congratulations, mate.
I think Beef, you're gonna need to just make sure we can hear you, mate.
Can you hear me?
We
can hear
can
you now,
now,
yeah.
yes we can. Let's see if we can get Sammy or anyone else in.
You didn't let me down tonight though, Beef.
I know, it's good, isn't it?
Modest as ever. How did that feel anyway, mate? It looked pretty convincing.
Yeah, when you said about them, when I had to do another 3 laps to check my tyres and it was 70%, I was like, nah, I'm doing 1. And then my tyres were like 55% with 5 laps to go, and I knew we had 12 seconds, so 4 minutes as well.
Was that planned for the fastest lap always in the back of your mind then?
Both. Because they were on like 55%. They could have went easy, but yeah. I knew he had 12 seconds, so it was fine.
Well, it was the full house from you, mate. Good qualifying, fastest lap, race win. Couldn't have gone better, really, for the first week.
I know. And I knew there was a glitch at the start when I saw someone get fastest lap and I didn't have a penalty on the first lap.
Yeah,
Bill had a 20-second lap, mate.
It's happened to me before, but
I'm just going to see if I can get Sam into this. I'm not sure if we can, but we'll try and get him in. Right, we've sent him an invite. We'll see if he can join the chat. But no, looking to carry on next week. Japan, I believe. You
Nice.
go into that now as one of the favourites, I imagine.
I'm done with Japan.
Right, it doesn't look like Sammy is joining here. So, I think we're wrapping up, lads. We've sent invites to the 2 guys. We've heard from our race winner. So, thank you everyone for tuning in. And hopefully see you again.